Mr. Pop.
You're now listening to
PWKGW. People who know good wrestling.
And welcome to PWKGW, People Who Know Good Wrestling. It's that time. It's 8 o'clock of December 2012, Wednesday, and it's our special interview Wednesday with the Greek God Papadon. I'm your host, Big Daddy C, Chris Kleitz, and of course alongside of me, my partner in crime, my partner in the world of podcasting, Sean Miller. What's up, buddy? On the show, so here we go. All right, and you are live with PWKGW Radio, Papadon, the Greek God Papadon. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man? What song was that you played just now? That wasn't my entrance music, was it?
I thought it was Dream. It told me it was Dream, the Requiem, Dream. So I didn't know if that was the right one or not. That's what I was.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's okay.
That's all right. But, sir, again, thank you for taking your time. I know you're a busy, busy man doing big things. We'll get into the show like we always do. I'm going to start off with the first question. And what made you, what influenced you to lace up those boots and get into that wrestling ring?
Well, I was a fan ever since I was a little kid. So I don't know how old I was when I said, hey, this is what I want to do. But there was two things when I was younger that I definitely wanted to do. One was draw comics for either Marvel or DC, and the other one was be a professional wrestler. The match that I saw on TV that made me want to become a pro wrestler was Ric Flair versus Sting for the NWA World title. Not Clash of the Champions, just a regular TV match. It was on Channel 11 here in New York at the time. And I remember watching it, and I went up to my mother, and I'm like, hey, Mom, guess what? She's like, what, honey? I'm like, I want to be a pro wrestler. She's like, okay, good, go play. And that was it.
Awesome. I'm gonna catch a phone call here real quick. With Eric Draven, the corporate thug. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Papadon, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. What's going on?
Not much, man. My question to you is, where did you get started? Where did you start your training? I know we got some history up in at the Doghouse. Was that the original place you started?
Yep. I first walked into the doors of the Doghouse, and I was trained by Homicide. And when the Doghouse closed, I continued my training at the NYWC Academy, where Mikey Whipwreck took me under his ring. So you could say that my two trainers in this business have been Homicide, who's taught me, everything from A to Z, and Mikey Whipwreck, who took me under his wing. It didn't teach me how to bump or do moves per se, because I already knew how to do all that, but taught me the inner workings of professional wrestling, how to carry yourself, and psychology, and less is more, and things of that nature. So I was very, very blessed to have the two greatest trainers on the East Coast, in my opinion, especially in the Northeast. I've always said that if you were to get trained by Homicide or Mikey Whipwreck, then you're very lucky. So I was fortunate to have both of them take a liking to me and take me under their wing and show me the ins and outs of professional wrestling.
And, of course, Homicide's still ripping it up there in the ring. You guys, I believe he was the last Extreme Rising. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Mikey Whipwreck's still wrestling till he wrestles at NYWC as well, so he's still doing his thing. They're both doing their thing. Guys like that, they never die. They never go away. They just get better. And they just keep making the young guys work harder to shine, to keep up with them.
Yeah. Of course. And, Sean, I know you got a couple email questions here waiting for Papadon. Would you go ahead and release some of those? Sean? Okay. Anyways, well, let's talk about it. You made your NWA Dog debut November 2nd. Wasn't it originally supposed to be you and Breaker Morant, and then it ended up being a 9-man elimination match? Is that how that went, or?
Yeah, it's exactly how it went. Originally supposed to be Breaker myself. I was looking forward to the match. I've wrestled Breaker before in ECWA, and we've had a good match. And I was looking to kick his ass, in another federation, And, lucky for him, they changed the match, and they put me in the 8-way for the NWA World's Heavyweight title, which was vacated after the 7 levels of hate between Pierce and Cabana. But unbeknownst to all the competitors, at the last minute, there was a 9th entrant, and it became a 9-way. So, as you can know right now, Kahangis is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm just waiting for him to give me a match so I can take that title off of his waist and put it around mine, where it belongs.
That's right. And you want to, I guess, how do you feel about the NWA, everything, with the 7 levels of hate there? Really, I thought helped the NWA, but with everything that happened, I guess, after, have you any words for that?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to play the PC card here. I'll be honest. I thought the 7 levels of hate was amazing. And I think Cabana and Pierce are both amazing competitors. And I think as good as a champion Cabana was, Pierce was just so much better. Only reason because he had the belt longer and, was able to travel with it long and put prestige right behind the title and make it, a title worth fighting for. Not saying that Cabana didn't, but Cabana, they never really gave him a chance. But, unfortunately what happened afterwards with the NWA not sanctioning the last match of the 7 levels of hate, I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room when they made the decisions, the powers that be, so I really don't have an opinion on that. But, in any business, whether it's wrestling, whether it's pizza making, whatever the case may be, when you have a corporation take over new owners, there's always going to be change, whether it's a takeover, whether it's just people just buying the company. The bottom line is, that's what happens. People buy companies all the time, and the inner structure always gets changed, and it is what it is. It's just that's the way business goes. And unfortunately, things couldn't get resolved, and the title got vacated. But one door closes, another window of opportunity opens. So that's what happened that day at NWA Dog. We had a good 8-man match, and like I said, I'm waiting for Kahangis to give me a match so I can take the strap off of him.
That's right. Now let's explain here. You're in ECWA. Explain, and our main focus here at PWKGW is independent wrestling. Explain to the fans, and some already know. Explain how independent wrestling is the main vein for people for wrestling. WWE wants these cookie cutter people that may have not even been in independence, or how do you feel about independent wrestling?
Well, independent wrestling is the bloodline to professional wrestling, and that's the God honest truth. If it wasn't for independent wrestling, there'd be no CM Punk, there'd be no Daniel Bryan, there'd be no Triple H. I mean, he started on the independents and then went to WCW, terrorizing. So fact of the matter is, that's the independents, they're the feeding ground to the national companies. And unfortunately, like you said, for a while, they were looking to change reinvent the wheel and get guys who weren't on the independents. And I thought it backfired because, you could teach anybody how to do a body slam. But if that person doesn't want to do a body slam, it doesn't have passion, they're not gonna put 100% into it, no matter what size they are, no matter what height they are. Fact of the matter is, you can't measure heart and you can't measure passion. And that's why guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are shining so bright right now. And guys like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, down in developmental, were outshining everybody because, they were on the road, they paid their dues, they did their time, and they've built not only passion but experience through their voyages on the independents, and it shows. I mean, you're only as good as the experiences that you have under your belt. And if you just take some guy off the street who looks like a bodybuilder or a former football player and throw him in the ring, he might last 6 months, a year. But if he really doesn't have a passion for what he's doing, he's just there to collect a check, it's not going to last.
Mm-hmm. Draven, I know you have a couple more questions there for Papadon. You there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm reading over the emails, and I see tons of email questions, Papadon. I got one over here. This is from a fan over here in New York stating, where would you like to end up, in WWE or TNA?
Again, I'm not going to play the PC card and say, whatever gives me an opportunity. I'll take whatever gives me an opportunity, but the fact of the matter is I want to go where the money is. Why would I put my body through this agonizing pain of what we do and not get the most money out of it to support my family and make a living at it? So my answer would have to be WWE. I mean, my goal is to headline WrestleMania one day, and I know I will. It's just a matter of time.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about today's product? And I know we can't compare it, back to the Attitude Era. What do you like about today's product, and what do you dislike about today's product?
Well, I'm tired of hearing people, shitting on the WWE. Sorry, I cursed, but whatever.
You're okay.
Fact of the matter is, everyone wants to be cool and be against the mainstream and be anti-establishment, and they, diss the WWE, but they'll watch it, and they'll secretly enjoy it. But when everyone, all the ears and eyes are around, they'll drive it into the ground and try to diss it. The bottom line is this: WWE is a billion-dollar industry, and they produce a certain product, and that product is sports entertainment. It's not pro wrestling; it's a different flavor of ice cream. What TNA produces is professional wrestling. What New Japan produces is professional wrestling. What's on the independents is professional wrestling. Company A does it a certain way. Company B does it a certain way. Company C does it a certain way. It varies. And for me, I like all forms of professional wrestling, whether it's Lucha Libre from Mexico, whether it's, strong-style Puroresu from Japan, which I prefer, whether it's, the technical rounds from World of Sport from England, from back in the day, or if it's WWE. My favorite time in professional wrestling, and me being a New Yorker, it's not WWE. It was Jim Crockett Promotions, NWA, in the 80s. That was my favorite time. And when I say that, people look at me funny. They're like, you weren't a Hulkamaniac? Yeah, I liked Hulk Hogan when I was young, but when I really got into wrestling, that's what I liked. I liked the Horsemen. I liked the Road Warriors. I liked Sting. I liked, Pillman, and the fact that some of the Japanese guys came over like Liger and Doom and Ron Simmons and Vader and Dr. Death, the Varsity Club, Steiner Brothers. I mean, the list goes on and on. But personally today, I like the WWE product. I think they have great production. I think they tell great stories in the ring. I think they elaborate too much on the verbal aspect and the entertainment aspect of wrestling, where it's more 70% or 60% promo and vignettes and 40-30% wrestling, where I think it should be the other way around. And the fact of the matter is, people are flying over to MMA because they want to see action. They want to see physicality. They want to see brutality. And MMA, call me crazy, but it's a work. It's a shoot work, and they're just using old school wrestling booking tactics and storytelling to promote their product, and they're making a lot of money doing it, and God bless them. But if WWE was able to do that, you know what I'm saying, and kind of flip the script, the bottom line is I prefer that than anything else. And, growing up, you remember Piper hitting Snooker with the coconut. You remember Andre the Giant ripping Hogan's shirt, off his chest and making him bleed. You remember Dusty Rhodes getting his arm broken by the Horseman. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you didn't see that every week. So when they did do it, it was special, and it stood in your mind, and it served as a strong foundation to build a feud or a rivalry off of. Nowadays, every week, they're doing it so quick just to pop a rating, and people are just getting tired of it because it's not as